Well, so, obviously there are a ton of plays to talk about, but the two big ones were late in the game, and the first down call, the 4th and 9 that was not given the first down to Ertz.
That was a horrible spot.
You thought it was a horrible spot?
Well, because the refs put it at the 42. Like, that wasn't even remotely close to where he was. Like, he was right at the line. Whether or not you get it or not, it was inches. They had him a yard back. Like, that was ridiculous.
I thought it was a coin flip. I said earlier.
It was a coin flip.
I said earlier, Ertz has to make sure he gets to when he catches the ball. He's a veteran. He needs to get beyond that first down marker, so there's not a
and make it a no-brainer. And that's fine. Like,
was he just sitting there? He was kind of beyond it, and he came back to the ball.
Yeah,
he was just there. And here, I think, like, if they had ruled it a first down, I don't have an issue with it. I don't think it was, so I don't, but I think it was whichever way you're going to rule, probably weren't going to overturn it. But to put it a yard back was ridiculous.
Yeah, and then of course the Johnny Newton penalty that gave him the game. Yep. I don't think the Steelers were going to run a play there. So
they were not.
They were not going to run a play. So, I mean, and I understand he's a rookie. It's instinctive. But I wonder if Bobby Wagner said in the huddle, hey, they ain't running a play here, bro. Don't move.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah,
I'm sure he did. And
he still did.
It's hard. You're yes, I would be quite sure of that a guy like that would say that.
They probably all knew it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just, he's a rookie.
It's instinctive.
And I'm, like, that cost him a shot to get the ball back.
Correct.
It doesn't cost him the game. There were too many other plays, whether it's a missed throw, a drop, whatever, or a blown coverage, that factored more. But that was it was an over-anxious rookie, and it cost him in that spot.
I was shocked at the number of people that were attacking Jayden on my timeline. And certainly Jayden didn't have his best game. But I thought he was still pretty good. Just plagued by some drops. I'm not blaming receivers. It is what it is. I thought he was pretty good. That one throw he made on the side, I keep remarking to the guys, that was the strongest throw I've seen from him in 9 weeks.
But he also missed some wide open guys.
Okay, but everybody misses guys. Yeah. Like every game, even when he's at 80%.
All right, well, you got to be semi-critical.
QBR was in the 30s.
Who cares? I mean, to my eye test, he was pretty good. They didn't lose because of Jayden. I just think it's crazy.
No, but he was off.
It was his worst game.
A worst game of all good ones.
Yeah. Well,
I think you
got to be critical. He wasn't that good.
I don't think he was that bad.
Okay, we'll disagree.
Go
ahead,
100%.
John.
I will argue till 10 a.m.
I mean, he wasn't horrible, but he missed some guys who were wide open. And
every week he misses guys. Every week, every quarterback.
Not
misses
really.
Guys.
His completion percentage is pretty damn good.
That wasn't a special performance. I'm not saying he's not special.
No, but
that performance, if you just look at that individual game,
but it was crazy. The people
was
attacking
ho-hum.
him. Yeah, John, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I think the bar has been raised high for him. And yesterday, I would agree that, one thing I would say, that was not his most accurate game. I think the Steelers had something to do with that. The throw to Zacchaeus. I felt like he was rushed. That he maybe felt rushed.
I think he was rushed on a lot of them, actually.
Yeah, I think he was definitely rushed on some of them. I think there were a couple times where there were some throws that were off, and sometimes I think he's almost throwing it away, but getting in the vicinity of a guy. There was one time he's avoiding a sack in the first quarter, throws it to Ertz, and it's behind him a little bit, but he had no chance to complete it. It was to avoid a sack. And here's a guy just, you know what I mean? So I think there was definitely some things that were off. The pass game was off. There were a couple drops. I mean, the one, again, the McCaffrey one was a tough miss. And that is a deep throw, but it's one we've seen him make. And sometimes you're off. And I felt like
those are low percentage throws. People grilling him about that is crazy to me.
Yeah, they are.
Wide open.
And I think, he's open. It's it's also a situation. If they complete that, that's at the very least you're probably in deep in field goal
sure.
range.
Oh yeah.
And so and I think the one to Noah Brown late where he has to kind of come back a little bit for it. That's a tight window throw and it's a little bit off.
But he totally could have caught it. Totally.
Yeah, both are true. Both are true.
No, he does nothing wrong.
That's not that he didn't do anything
It
wrong.
was a short throw. He underthrew him.
Okay,
He just
fine,
did.
but he was totally hit his hands.
Okay,
catch the ball.
But
Catch
you
the ball.
got to be critical of bad throws too. You can't just say.
I'm not being not critical. It's just that you're being outrageous.
How am I being outrageous?
Well, people on my timeline are. I'm just taking it out.
I'm
on
not
you.
attacking him. It just wasn't a great game for Jayden Daniels.
I don't think it was
wasn't.
a great game, but it was a fine game. It was fine.
It was
good
an
enough to win, in my opinion. He isn't the reason why we lost.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing too, like it's funny because for a while there, I'm thinking if they pull this out with him not having his best game, that's a really good sign for this team because you know what I mean? Like it's like a basketball game where if your star guy isn't having his best night and you still find a way.
On the whole, we had a C+ game. We had the ball for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and so like there, I think the one thing I like about him have always is how he's a competitor. And like games like that, like even though things are off, it doesn't slow him. You know what I mean? It doesn't rattle him. And I think that's so you take things like that from it too. But yeah, I mean, I give a lot of credit to the Steelers for it. There are a lot of throws that were that had to be thrown into tight windows. There are a couple of times where I'm not sure should the receiver have sat on this route in the zone coverage. Or should he, or did he think he was going to lead him? Like so some things were off with it. I don't like, he's going to have a game where it doesn't work as well as it has, and it's okay.
Right.
And I think the guy who would say that the most, who was more critical than anybody in your timeline is Jayden himself. Like he's not, there may be guys here in the past who played the position who wanted to hear everything good about it. That's not him. And, he doesn't want to hear how great he is. He wants to see where can I get better? And so I think you can take that from that, but yeah, I would say this, it wasn't his best game for sure.
100%.
But 28-27, they got a shot still despite that. And I think the thing I take from that one too is that they were right there with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a good team. And I think the reinforcement is number 23 coming in whenever he comes in to play corner. Like that touchdown pass to Mike Williams is exactly the kind of play why you go out and make that trade for Lattimore.
Right.
And so like the one, if they hadn't made that deal, then you say that's going to continue to be a problem. Now you can look at it and say, well, that problem should be solved in a couple of weeks whenever Lattimore gets out there.